as I begin recording. So, we began last session during Willem and Dejar's watch. They both had a discussion about inner monsters, inner beasts. There were questions about faith, about what it says if one carries a darkness within oneself, fighting for the light, as Dejar said. And Dejar carrying that darkness within, fearing that it could be let out. Ultimately, the responsibility was left to Dejar to figure out who she wanted to be. You all then experienced the magnificent sight of a meteor shower in the night skies. You saw many constellations, including the Matron's Hand, and saw as one of those falling stars, a bright golden one, seemed to change its course midway through the descent and impacted a few miles off from your campsite. You decided to investigate, but realised you weren't the only ones whose attentions were caught by this event, so you rushed to the impact site. There, you were confronted by a group of bandits and their raptor mounts attempting to gather what appeared to be this sort of glowing golden metal from the heavens. You did battle, and it looked like you might be thoroughly defeated, were it not for some smart use of tactics, Dejar turning into a Rex as a distraction, Willem attempting to use some diplomacy mid-battle. There was a good positioning and use of Vortex Warp, and a final arcane gate to get you out of there, and after gathering every single piece, and all without killing anyone. You discovered that this star metal might just be a test, a message from the Sunfather. This metal of seemingly divine origin. Even here, when the night is darkest, his presence is still felt. You finally arrived back at camp and got absolutely chewed out by Angus for wandering off by yourselves during the night, worried you might have been kidnapped once again. Later on the next day, you saw the reason why you've been seeing so many sort of migratory herds of dinosaurs. This great oasis, a watering hole that's attracted dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes. Stopped here for a moment for a break on your travels to grab a drink, converse with each other a bit. And the oasis even attracted a familiar albino Rex to its shores, Snowjaw and her other two Rexes. Seems as though even the hunters need a drink down then. You continued on towards the Library of Quetzali. It seems that Dejar is in need of an update with regard to some academic research that she was doing on infused obsidian and laystone. Both substances with very different effects on magic, and perhaps to have a talk with the Archmage here, the head of the Shaman's Mantle, an ancient and premier mage society in Tanzania that oversees this temple library. So, you left the Steamhammer and the caravan behind and continued on your way across these bridges called the Serpent Steps. And that is where we left off. So let me just go and load up that map for you.
So, enhance.
Yes. So this is your current location upon the Serpent Steps. I believe there was let's see here. I believe there was wanting to sort of there was chatter of wanting to talk with each other while on the road here. So as you're sort of oh, hang on, I've lost my place.
Also, the party icon, I think it's still in the wrong position.
Oh, yes, it is. Let me go ahead and fix that for you.
Yeah, progress.
So, you kind of these long sort of winding bridges twist and turn, you can see that they eventually end at this tremendously tall ziggurat-like structure. At its peak, a great temple, and rotating slowly upon the temple's peak is this colossal golden disc-like structure. As you're kind of crossing these tremendous winding bridges, you'll notice you'll occasionally pass pairs of these golden statues on either side of you, either side of the bridge. What look like feathered serpentine creatures with wings and eyes set with amethyst gemstones. Their sort of coils are arched and their wings are unfurled. And each time you kind of pass one pair, the gemstones set in their eyes give this very faint flicker of light. You feel this faint wave of warmth wash over you.
Right. I think at this moment the Ishtar would like to talk to Vellum.
That is fine. Vellum will be just traveling along.
He'll start speaking in Katesh. Son, brother, I have a bone to pick with you.
And he will respond in kind. And, what would that be about?
Remember when we were dealing with the bandits? And you wanted to go get that last piece of sun particle, whatever, that fell down. I wanted us to leave. Let them have that one piece. I wasn't strong enough to push you in. I regrettably, I hate that. But you went off recklessly. Thanks to these rings, you could have died. Why didn't you listen to me?
Vellum will pause, sort of looking out at the sun reflected off the ocean a little bit, since I assume we're on the higher parts and thus visible.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a few moments before finally responding. Well, it's a strange thing to explain. But regardless of anything, I do want to apologize. It was not very respectful of you and your wishes to do what I did. There was something going on that night, Shah. And from the outside it may have seemed like recklessness. But ever since we saw those falling stars, and more so when we got to the crater, he sort of rubs his eyes a little bit, seemingly struggling to put the words together. Because as adept as he is with Heshi, some of the words still escape him. Whenever we, as a team, fight whatever dangers we come across, I know in a sense what I'm doing. But there's always uncertainty. There's always that lack of foresight there is no way to really know what people, even on our own side, can do at any moment, even if we know what they're capable of. But that night, I knew what to do. It was almost uncanny. I didn't have any uncertainty or hesitation. When the stars began to fall, like a voice in my mind, I reached out to my instinct and asked you to send your familiar up. And with that, we were able to see where the star fell. We arrived. I knew time was of the essence from what we saw, and so I drank a potion I was keeping in reserve. Even though I knew we weren't fully in any danger yet. When it all fell into place, Deja, I saw that one, I don't know, I'll say person, I won't label them as bandits. I saw that one person drop into the crater with fire in his eyes, and I just knew, I didn't even guess that that same fire is what fuels Grunker's anger, and I know Grunker enough to know what to do in that moment. And so I moved away. I used the crater for cover against some of the archers. I knew what each of them were capable of in that moment, just from a sense. And when it came time to possibly leave, when you expressed your wish to get out of there because you felt it was too dangerous and one piece wasn't worth it, it made sense, but well, I know you enough and I know of your repertoire, so I didn't think it was a risk. What's more, because of those, just seeing those sun-dappled rocks, it felt right that I should get them, that they should be with us. This is going to sound blasphemous, or maybe it's on the money, I don't even know anymore. But it felt like the Sun Father was guiding us. Guiding me to take those actions. Like, through his divine insight, he guided my instincts. I acted without hesitation, I moved with purpose, and when the time came, I showed the mercy the tenets always teach, but it wasn't because of any rules or what I should do, it was just natural. I know none of this is an excuse, Deja, and I'm sorry for disrespecting your wants the way you did. And I know it seems like greed, going for one small speck of light in the dark, but at the time that didn't feel like there was any other choice. And I had faith that knowing what you can do, well, I felt fine putting my life in your hands, because I knew you would pull through.
He takes a deep breath. As comforting as that is, I'm saying this from experience. You need to temper that instinct with this, and he points to her heart, as well as this. He points to his head. Sometimes doing it in the moment can feel right, and it may work out most of the time. But there are long-reaching consequences, ones that we may not intend to happen to those we care for. Don't look at, he thinks for a moment, the leaves and not step back to see the trees for what they are. Yes, you gained a little foresight, but you need to have practice with it. With practice, it becomes second nature.
Well, you are right in that I need to be more mindful in future and not be so carried away on what I feel to be divine whims.
He puts her hands up. Don't be sorry. Be better.
Well, that's what I was getting at. I plan to be.
I mean, right now. Just focus on that. Don't apologize. Just do what you think needs to be done. Apologies are just words over an bandage over a large wound. Doing better will fix the wound and heal it like an ointment.
I know well the importance of action over words, Dejar.
Sometimes it's due to just a reminder.
Give a nod, and then there will be a pause where he speaks up again in a bit more of a softer tone. Eyes not on her, but again on the water. This was different, Dejar. I have been reckless before, but just as much as I'm reckless, I'm careful. I feel so much hesitation these days. Especially recently. I've never acted so sure of anything before. So sure of my movements, so sure of my wants. Wants I didn't even have. So sure of trust. And I'd like to think it's a good thing, but it makes me wonder if it was my own actions or those of the Sun Father working through me. It felt unreal.
This may come off as, well, rather, he's looking for the word.
Blunt.
Yes,
You could stand to be more blunt.
I'm realizing that now. Your actions are your actions. You might be having a little nudge, but give yourself more credit, more praise. Sometimes we just need a little pat on the back to reassure ourselves. Oh, and one more thing. He flicks his head. That's for last night.
Sure. I deserve that.
I know I'm not strong. I know my advantages are mental and arcane at best. I can do some work changing to be a little bit more in the field, as it were. I can't always be in the back all the time.
And now he's gonna flick her head. Dejar, strength is strength, and you need to stop selling yourself short. Yeah, a lot of what you do is mental, and the arcane is a mental art. But you are capable of a lot. If you weren't, I wouldn't have had as much faith in you as I did last night.
It's not selling myself short, it's the fact that Barash's letter gave me pause for thought. That maybe we could do some exercises or have a little bout between ourselves to truly know what we can do versus just assuming.
Well, I mean, it's not assumptions. We've conferred with each other our abilities, but I can see the merit of more sparring. I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think I could bring myself to go through with the more aggressive suggestions that Rasman put forward. I'm much
Yeah.
safer in the mind of fighting creatures than bringing a sword to anyone I like to think is close.
Yeah, let's that subject. Let's talk with the rest of the party and get their ideas. Instead of just conferring with ourselves.
Yeah, they're probably wondering what the hell we're gabbing on over here.
Well, go on, leader. He says smirkingly.
After... Sorry, I'm just mentally picturing them two talking in a language no one else knows and then flicking each other in the head.
It's a bit of an odd sight.
Velen will sort of just clear his throat rather loudly, hoping to get the attention of the group and moving a bit more closer to make communication easier. Everyone, since we're just walking for a while, I figure it might be a good idea to talk about Rasman's letter and the options she presented to us. Now, we've all probably made our own thoughts and opinions, but I figure getting them out in the air is a good idea.
I do agree, but first, come over here for a moment.
Okay, I feel like I'm gonna get hit again, but Velen will just sort of quicken his pace to end up with next to Sao.
And in a motion that can best be described as sibling love, Sao comes from behind with her hand and just lightly grazes the back of his head. You know, smack.
Flip to the back of the head, yeah. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, anyone else want to get these out while they're here?
Do you know why?
Is that an invitation?
Liska just, I can imagine Liska just whang off the side of the
The
fucking
lightest
bridge.
smack and Velen flies off into the sunset. Well, I landed in Ragnarok. I have a feeling that because I didn't give enough notice last night when I went off and worried everyone.
I was asleep. You were back by the time that I woke, so I don't really care.
That was for not only just leaving camp, but you've got chewed out about that from Angus. No, that was also for leaving Vadima alone at camp.
You are right.
What do you mean? She
I do
has a
have
watch by
faith.
herself all the time.
Yes.
She's been
and
having
she
a solo
also-
watch since she's almost been with us.
And she did spend a lot of time avoiding hostile forces in the vast underground network. I have some faith that she can use her magic if need be to remain beneath notice, and she's quick enough and capable enough to
Oh,
manage.
I'm aware, but you specifically left her alone while telling her we're gonna go out and... What was it again? Oh, right. You didn't tell her to come poke one of us. You just told her, keep watch.
Well, actually, I did give a bit more than just that. She knew how long we'd be gone for, and what we were going off to do, and I did give her the instructions that if anything happened to wake people up. But I should probably have given her more information.
That's one of the things that upset me the most. Now, she can do her own thing, but, you tend to watch her and care for her a lot. It seems a little odd to jump from the beginnings of responsibility to running away from your own responsibilities, giving it to her, and not doing a very good job at it. Just, we didn't know where rather, you didn't tell her where you were going properly. Just kind of maybe over there, when you'd be back, and those sorts of things. And you also didn't tell us, and that's one of the really upsetting things, because if something happened, we have no information and no way to come rescue you or help.
I mean, we knew where they were going, about the distance it happened, and how long they probably left before. I feel like that's a very good way to figure out where they went. Plus, they had to go there. We can keep tracks. I mean, Vadmia, did you see where the star fell?
Somewhat. It was I don't maybe a couple of miles from camp to the south.
And you remember which direction they left?
Towards the south, towards the star.
Okay. Yeah, we could have easily tracked them.
Perhaps.
I appreciate the sentiment, Liska, though there is a point here. I should have at least mentioned to everyone so you wouldn't have to figure that out.
I mean, letting the next shift know, hey, this came up, I'm leaving, it would be nice rather than giving it to Varima. I don't like being excluded from those sorts of things. Or at least, I don't like our group being excluded.
So would it have been better if they told you instead of Vadmia telling you, is what you're asking?
I think so. Or told you, or whoever else.
It wasn't my watch. I wanted to sleep.
Oh, I'm just saying I feel that we could ask a little more questions, and we may have caught things that Varima may have not.
But Auntie Goodside and Sao, instead of dashing fucking Willem over the head, she pats him on the shoulder. I'm proud of you.
Okay, I feel like I'm missing some context here. Why are you proud of me?
Because you literally dashed into the dark.
Well, I guess it's a lot easier when there's a light to follow.
Perhaps. But it's a good start.
Alright, so, has everyone got their aggression out of the way? You know he's trying to joke, but there's also like a slight uneasiness as he feels like the kind of feeling of expecting flying hands to come your way. Right. I will assume that I am safe for the moment then. So back to the topic, if I may. Rasman's letter, the three options we were given. I should probably hash that out before I go messaging her.
What was the... He gets the letter again.
Yes, you got the letter, yeah, you go.
See what scrolls down the letter. Face out against beasts like that. I've never heard of this Eye of Steel. You didn't update me on this. I don't know. Face each other. Fair balanced rule set or no holds barred against each other. I'll be real, I'd like the beast fight. But I'd rather do the fight against each party member as a training spar thing, not with gambling. So the options: beasts fight each other with a fair and balanced rule set, or no holds barred fight each other. Those are your choices.
I would personally prefer just fighting beasts.
I tend to agree. I'd rather
No,
not
just
beat the shit out of Vellum. It seems everyone's whacked him on the head already. We should spare him. Well, almost everyone.
Sarah just gives a look up to Lishka and then just, yeah, I prefer not to fight her.
Yeah, same.
Nah, I can take her.
Sarah then looks to fucking Angus, just,
Are you sure?
I didn't say I could win. I said I could take her.
Fair point.
there's a moment where Sarah just looks up to Lishka and then down to Angus for a moment. You know, maybe?
The one I'm worried about the most is Drunka, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, we'd never find him, and he just start picking people off.
Yeah, no, see. Ah!
See, he's sneaky even when he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I turned you into a belt.
Don't say it like that. Please don't say it like that.
Turned you into a belt.
So, it seems like
Is
we're in
anyone
agreement.
else very confused?
Only slightly, but not by this topic. I'm more confused about why I saw an island disappear.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Me with turtle.
Yeah, Sal just points out to the general waves towards the horizon.
Thanks. What?
Yep.
That's-
I'm certainly glad we didn't take a boat.
Honestly,
What?
this place is full of surprises.
I mean, we just watched Titans nearly got mauled by no jaw. Yeah, no.
Well, at least we are on rocks and walking across the road.
It is also true. Also brings up the other thing. How would anyone feel about doing more sparring while we camp? Because I feel like just a little bit more activity as a group would be better for us. Since, you know, the hit we went through.
Are you suggesting we beat the shit out of each other for fun and self-betterment?
Exactly.
Alright, I'm done.
In true dwarven manner.
It reminds me of an old practice we had back in the mines. It was called building boulders. You see, it all started with two strong lads who squared up right next to each other, and in each hand they had a massive rock. If you put them together, they're about the size of boulders. And then he raises it up over his head and swings it in a great arch, backwards, down, under, and up. The last land to be able to stand without his knees buckled together has the best built boulders.
I didn't quite follow any of that. Can you repeat that?
Something about comparing boulders.
You lost me.
I mean,
Surely
it's a
you-
cultural thing.
Oh,
Here,
wait.
you want me to show you?
No, I
No,
don't
no,
want
no,
you to
no,
show
no,
me
no,
your
no.
boulders.
No, not my boulders. No, how to play building boulders.
Okay, I'm...
Maybe not when we're on a bridge.
So... let me
You're
get
right.
this.
Some lads tend to fall and roll. It might not be the best for you. I understand.
Shara just is... You have to look at her face like, I want to process this, but I don't want to process this. I'm conflicted.
I'll just pat her on the shoulder. Yeah, you'll get used to it.
Some days I hope so, some days I don't think I will.
Out of character, did anyone have any talks they wanted to do? Because I was gonna call Rasmund with our answer. 'Cause it seems like we're unanimous in that we want to fight beasties instead of each other.
Yeah, we can always fight each other later.
Instead, we'll just beat the shit out of each other at camp for free.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wee!
Well, I'm leaving it open for anyone to have any RP talks before I go doing ascending.
I think I had something I wanted to do, but I can't remember.
I have a message for Rasmund.
Sure. So what's it about? He's already sort of fishing for the stone anyway.
Let's see, how can I phrase this? Because you can only use a few words with your version too, right?
From what I know, it's just 25 words for any use of it. We only got one a day though, so try to get the information you can. If it helps, I've been dropping like words that aren't as important, but you can still get the gist of it out.
Right.
Sending
Hello?
stone doesn't require attunement, does it?
Sending stone does not require attunement, I believe.
Okay, just checking. And Velen will hand Angus the stone.
Hello. Please prepare chocolate. He passes it back.
And that's it.
You can use more words, Angus. Is there anything else you wanted to get out? Or...
Oh, right. He takes it back. Thank you. And then he passes it back again.
How many words are left, and can I use the rest of them, or is it just all used?
I think.
5, you have 20 left.
That was 7.
Am I allowed to use the
18
rest
words.
of the words, or is it just a case that when
Wasn't
he
it just
stops, the
5?
message stops?
Please prepare chocolate, and then thank you.
Hello. Please prepare chocolate.
Oh, okay, I didn't see the hello, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was, hello, please prepare chocolate, thank you.
So it was 6 words.
Alright.
You got
Yeah,
You got
am I
19.
allowed to use the rest of them, or by the nature of the item, is it done when he's done?
I actually think it's
Th-
per
th-
per
thank you.
person.
That's fine,
Oh.
and
That it's
That's the only
'cause-
message of the day.
Yes!
yes. Because
I'm glad that I prepared the scene.
and you didn't even wait to receive her answer. You just handed it back. So hey,
that's so Velen's gonna get it right.
hey ho.
Okay, I guess I can wait till tomorrow to tell her our decision.
Or I
What?
can.
No, just say it. You'll just not say it.
We only get the one use a day, Angus, remember?
Then why did you hand me the thing to say something?
Well, you said you wanted to send her a message, and it seemed important, and so I gave it to you.
I asked her if you'd say something for me and said, here, you can say it, and you gave it to me.
Oh my
Right, well,
goodness.
now we know better.
Y'all are both dumb. Just deal with it.
No, I had my priorities straight.
Y'all are both dumb. Just deal with it.
I think I might be in charge of this from now on.
What is it you want to send
Liska.
to Rash?
Is it really dumb to prepare chocolate for us?
It is if
dumb
it
to
is the
prepare
only
chocolate.
message you send when you aren't supposed to send that message using the one a day standing stone.
I mean, I have sending. I can send more if we need it.
So can I, so...
I think that's just Vellum's little special. What's the trade tongue word? Hookup stone.
Excuse me?
Doesn't
one
it
did
just
not-
go to Velasma?
Yes, it goes... What?
Yeah, it's not. It's the words when you two people talk together about something and you it's like you hook up the conversation.
I have never heard it used like that.
Business?
That's
business.
That's got a very different meaning. Anyway, yeah, the whole point of this was to save resources if we needed to get in touch with her, and usually one use is enough to get a good bit of information out.
Usually.
Usually.
Well, I may need to borrow one of your uses of that spell, Jar.
I was prepared for this anyway, so of course.
I was prepared for shenanigans. Vellum's gonna start working on his message, opening the floor to anyone who wants to work on things while I figure out my word count.
Janner? Janner?
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry,
Jane.
I was muted. Yes.
You sure were. How far down is to the water?
A good like 200, 300 feet.
Damn. Can't fish.
I mean, yeah, you can probably climb down, but it's like it's gonna take a while.
You have a ring of water walking, you know.
Yeah,
I can just jump down and
Just jump down and break your legs.
I
Watch
could.
before you hit the water.
yeah,
That's all.
Yeah, like I
You
did
just go
before. Yeah, like
Yeah.
a stone in water.
No, you just hit A right before you hit it, and then you cancel the fall damage.
Yeah. That's how it works. Yes, it's the MLG Minecraft bucket. It.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if it's that if I can't do that, then how big is this like plateau?
Oh, it's a good about 100 odd feet in diameter.
Is there birds?
You don't see any birds, but you do see upon a few like separate odd like sea stacks in the distance. What looks like these flocks of many pteranodons, sort of perched on top of these these towers of stone.
Weird birds.
Weird birds.
How long is this travel gonna take? Are we like gonna set up camp on this, or like how far is this?
Oh, it's. I think Talali only said it only takes a few hours to walk there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's no rough terrain. It's all relatively straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, I probably don't. Maybe I'm gonna try and catch one of those.
Those pteranodons.
Yeah,
Okay.
tasty. Hungry.
Okay, so you do see a number of pteranodons, sort of varying sizes, kind of soaring overhead. You might have to do an animal handling check to try and tempt one of them closer.
Considering he tried to bite the last one, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see. Animal handling. Wait, hang on, let me look at something real quick. Let's see. Where the fuck is Webby?
Did Sirenscape just crash for anyone else?
No.
I don't think so. There he is.
Alright,
Maybe.
sorry, carry on.
Let's see. What can you hunt? What did I teach you, my boy? Fuck! I didn't teach him. I didn't teach him hunt.
Oh
God damn
no.
it!
Oh
Like, one of
no.
the few things I didn't teach him.
Well, trial by fire.
Well, I guess now is as good as time as any. We got a couple of hours to kill, Webby. Tramp's time to kill. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Here's the plan. And Grug is gonna do the whole thing where he's like down on one knee next to Webby and has like one arm around him and is like talking close to him and is like pointing at several areas and like doing circles and like fucking drawing shit in the sand. And he's doing something very weird and elaborate that probably he doesn't even really understand what he's doing. And he's basically gonna spend like the travel time we have to try and teach Webby to hunt.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make me an animal handling check for this.
Aminal handling. Let's see. Is inspiration just a reroll or is it advantage? Although I guess it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna use my inspiration to advantage because whatever I'm gonna use that fucking thing. Let's see. Hold Alt. Animal handling.
15.
Alright.
Okay. So you kind of spend this moment with Webby trying to teach him like hunting tactics in the sand. You kind of show him how it's done by pretending like a small rock off to the side is a sort of small animal. You kind of stalk around the rock, and then just sort of pounce on it. You grab the rock in your teeth, kind of flay it from side to side like a cat trying to kill a mouse. Webby tries to do the same, seemingly following your lead. He's got the general gist of it. Might take a few more attempts before he kind of masters it, or rather, not masters it, but rather is able to do it for real. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, so it's like. Yeah. Okay. Let's just continue doing that later.
Okay. So
That's it for me.
Right.
I have a message ready if it's okay with me doing so.
Yep.
No.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Let's see. Here you go, Jean. And I put it in party chat for you. Spice. Oh no, the Spice AFK. You're the one
here.
person that. Oh, there you are.
Okay, I see the message. All right. I'm going to use a slot for spells for sending, and sorry for Angus. Didn't understand use of the stone. We decided to fight creatures as a team. Please prepare accordingly, and thank you, Miss Rasmund.
All right.
Enough.
The response comes. The response comes from Rasmund. It is short, to the point. You hear her say, "Very well. I shall let my contacts know. I shall see you soon. Chocolate will be waiting."
He'll turn to Angus and repeat that last statement. Chocolate will be waiting.
Nice.
Never a dull moment.
Alright, that's all I really needed to do unless anyone had anything.
Nope.
All right. So, eventually, you approach the base of the temple, and you gaze up at the towering stairway before you. Upon each star is a upon each stair is a carving of a section of a serpent's tail, which you can't make out the wider picture until you notice it's the body of the serpent. Its tail begins upon the very first step, winds its way up to the second, and the third, the fourth, the fifth, sixth, all the way up for at least a good couple 100 feet. And you see a number of intricate large mosaics of turquoise and gold circles that adorn the plaza at the foot of the tower. And you watch as there's a flash of light nearby. There's a pair of sigils carved into two ancient stone tiles seem to hum to life. And appearing upon them, you see two guards dressed in gold mantles. Deep violet sleeveless robes, golden tattoos, and headdresses adorned with colourful feathers. One man, one woman. Both of them seem to be human. You, foreigners, what business you got here at the Great Simple's Library?
Jar will come forward to talk with the head librarian and just check up on research I had asked previously.
I'm afraid the serpent's archivist is currently occupied. Do you have any other business here? It's at that moment that they both seem to notice Quetzali with you. Oh, 1,000 apologies. We did not know that the daughter was with you.
Well, I just kind of gives like a wave of her fingers to him. They just wanna come in and look around for a little bit. I'm sure Itzer would be okay seeing them. You know, when he's not too busy.
Very well.
Is Itzer here right now?
He is, yes. We will notify him of your presence, Quetzali.
You don't have to. Just say that they're friends of mine. I would be wondering about doing my own thing.
They both nod to you. And they kind of begin reciting a spell in their own tongue, which only you, Quetzali, can understand. Watch as there's this flash of arcane magic, and a number of patterns embedded into the mosaics below you glow, revealing this intricately carved series of Tahosian runes. And you watch as the golden tiles begin to assemble themselves into a 15-foot diameter platform that seems to hover about 15 foot off the ground, made of entirely of gold and stone. Step on.
Okay. And she would, well, everyone else step on with her.
We'll follow suit.
You all kind of step onto the platform, and the stone gives someone sort of gives slightly with each step, almost as if they've been sort of magnetized together. And the platform begins to ascend the stairway, the temple above. As you ascend, the winds batter your side, and for the lightest among you, there's that sense of fear of being knocked off the platform and sort of plunging down the stairs below. But the two guards themselves seem unfazed by the whole ordeal. You can feel the slight quaking through the structure of the titanic golden disc. Its rotation is glacially slow. and it looks to be perhaps maybe about 100, 150 feet in diameter, as it now sort of dominates your view, dwarfing the large temple before you, giving it almost a sort of halo. The radiant reflection of the sun from its gilded surface is almost blinding. As you reach the apex, a tall archway defines your entrance to the temple. Both of the guards make their way up to the doorway. Again, one of them sort of recites a small incantation, and the massive golden door before you begins to creak open. You cross the threshold, and you feel this wash of warmth over you, similar to when you passed the golden statues.
Y'all would be familiar with this feeling, wouldn't you?
Yes, though I don't think she would have ultimately known what it would be.
Nope,
Could make an Arcana check if you like.
Sure. Those 25.
Or 25. Let's see here. I'll double check something real quick.
Alright.
You've felt this sort of warm wash over you before, whenever you felt the presence of an abjuration spell cast upon you. It's very, very faint, but noticeable for you.
Nothing to worry about.
You kind of cross the threshold, you descend down this long series of wide stairways. And with each passing of some sort of threshold, there's another, that sort of wash of warmth. And you eventually exit out into a gargantuan hall. Where is it? It is.
Absolutely massive.
Indeed.
It's pretty as I remember it.
It is a tremendous cavernous interior that opens up before you. A great atrium comprised of floors upon floors upon floors of shelves, packed with scrolls, tablets, ancient tomes gathered through centuries of careful categorization, organization. Floors upon floors extending high to the ceiling above, and far, far below you. It's a grand library of knowledge, dating back hundreds of years. There's open chambers built throughout this place, locations where you can see apprentices studying before teachers. You can see other people using these sort of ancient-looking golden platforms, similar to the ones that you rode up the stairs upon, sort of drifting high above you from one section of the library to another. Some sort of transportation throughout the library here. You can see animated scrolls kind of drifting through the cavernous chamber like flocks of flying creatures sorting themselves into distant scroll cases. However, one thing stranger than most that you do notice, Talali and Sayun, you're the first to notice this. Flying above you from place to place see another feathered serpent creature, ushering scrolls and tomes from the hands of archivists. It's about similar to the statues you saw, but this one seems to be alive and sort of moving. It's about 10 feet long, has this brightly coloured red, green and blue scales and feathers, and it's sort of collecting these texts, placing them back where they came from, sort of retrieving others, almost like a sort of caretaker in and of itself. You also see, coiled and spiralling around the interior of this chamber, around the walls, is this enormous stone relief of a massive feathered serpent. The largest iteration of this sort of carving of this creature you've seen so far, and the tail sort of descends down to the floors below, while its head sits at the apex of the ceiling, looking down into the chamber, sort of more gaping wide. And suspended from the end of its jaws is this enormous orrery, comprised of a series of orbiting discs and polished gold that reflects sunlight across the chamber. This is the oldest surviving library in the world, home to a vast repository of knowledge. The guards give you a nod. We will let the Serpent's Archivist know of your arrival. And with that, they sort of make their way off, conjuring another golden disc as they ascend up and out of sight.
Bob just shoots a look to Deshar and to Kali, and there's a look in her face like, yeah, she gets why the security is so uptight, but at the same time, damn this place.
It's big.
Jashar just gives her a knowing look like, yeah, to be expected.
Talali is going to look at the group and be like, well, we got to go take care of a few things. Y'all have fun now. Don't try to do anything that'll get you killed. And then she just turns, runs up a wall, and leaps into a floor above you and just disappears.
Muckshit.
Now we know why she's so good at parkour. She's been here enough before. She has to do it to get around.
Jashar just looks as Talali does that and like, some scholars are just,
Well, it's one way to get around.
So you have some...
like, but honestly, Liz going to be like, yes, but how do we get around? And this, were we not supposed to bring him? She points to Bastion.
It's fine. I mean, they didn't say
Well,
anything.
I wasn't about to walk.
Yeah,
At least
they didn't
not
say
very
anything
quickly.
when they brought him up. So
That's very true. I guess, is there like, Liz is going to look around for just a small little, repository for animals? Like, is there like a small little barn for or stables?
You know what? Just go ahead and make me a perception check.
Oh, Liz is good at these.
incoming one.
Oh shit!
No, that's funny. Yeah.
Says "fuck you." Save.
Yes, actually, you can see a sort of small cubby where you can see a number of riding raptors holstered up to a sort of nearby post. They're sort of idly chewing a bit of a
Book.
bit sort of idly chewing on a bit of meat.
Oh no, he has a taste for flesh now.
They're carnivores. They always have a taste for flesh. Oh, well, it looks like that is one place. Maybe we can try to get one of those floating gold discs somehow.
I feel like we should probably decide. I don't know. Is there kind of some kind of rest space we can reconvene at? If this
think
place is huge,
so.
and I feel like a couple of us might get lost anyway.
Well, maybe we should
Yeah.
wait. Weren't they going to get that person we were supposed to meet?
I guess, but I think they said he was busy, so we might need to wait a while.
Well, I mean, they will expect us to be here. Let's just, I guess, I'll put Bastion away, and then we'll just chill here for, a little while.
Is there like a little seating area? Because I'm picturing this like an oversized library.
Yeah.
And even
it-
the foyer
think
might
so.
have some seating.
Imagine the sort of the library citadel from Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh shit!
Did not take my interest. I'm expecting like a big open foyer area with the accoutrements as described.
Yeah,
But is there like a sort of sit down area?
yeah. There's plenty of tables and sort of stone desks you can sit at. Here I'll post imagine. I'll post that in party chat. Imagine this, but with like an Aztec aesthetic.
Yes.
I can definitely see that. I can see
You have
some.
no idea how much I want to shoot down the big fucking orrery.
Yo, if
I won't do it.
I mean, you can try.
Like, I won't do it, but there's that little autistic tingle in my mind that just goes, I want to see it crash.
What would happen?
How big a noise would it make?
oh, ooh,
Yeah,
this happened.
the Ori's massive. It's so it's maybe about 20 feet in diameter.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, just pretty big.
Right, so I guess we'll wait a bit and keep ourselves busy until what's his face shows up.
You-
I guess so.
you-
And
you-
yeah, Liska's gonna lift Angus off of Bastion, and then just kind of guide Bastion over. Make sure that there's some distance between where the raptors are
yeah,
kind of tied down and
I
where
kind of
Bastion
figured.
is. Not that she doesn't
It's
think
for the
Bastion can
raptors'
take
sake.
him. Yeah, I was just saying, it's not that I think that Bastion couldn't take him, but we don't want to have an international incident because our ram decided to kill some raptors.
Yeah. Okay,
It
so
was self-defense, I swear.
yeah, there are seating areas for you to sort of take a moment and rest. You can see a number of sort of library goers. From actually, this is quite a varied crowd of people that are seemingly studying here from all over the place. You can see a couple of dwarves. You can see a few halflings. You can see looks like a number of maybe Carthans, Dejordans. It's
Ooh.
It seems this library has quite a bit of renown to it, and you're familiar with this sort of renown, Deja. It's like it's akin to the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, I got the feel about when you were describing the place. Like, it's,
Yeah, we've
it's-
already made Christian burning jokes in the chat.
I wasn't there. I was like, ooh, study must.
Yeah.
Casually.
So I mean,
It wasn't Catholics; they're all the same.
you probably have some time here, so yeah. If you want to do some research, that's also an option.
I'm gonna check with it's one of the dollars to see who got back with me about my research.
So, you kind of approach one nearby archivist who's currently kind of sorting through a number of scrolls. You can see a sort of dark skin, wrinkled face who wears kind of simple robes of feather-trimmed violet and golden braces and You approach him, gives you a sort of half-hearted look. Yes, what can I do you with?
The Yard sent a letter about, what was it? Obsidian? As it was, about the enchanted obsidian. The research on that. Who do I need to talk to about this?
That'd not be my purview. Did you be wanting to speak with the Archmage? He be the keeper of Obsidian.
Right. Okay.
Yep, book block.
Then she just switches to in a more hushed tone. I would like to try and find something about a certain name. And she leans in close. Mortis is who I'm looking up.
I mean, Morteris?
Morteris, yes. I can't pronounce it.
So you've not spent much time studying here, Deja.
No.
But you've spent enough time to know that one does not simply receive knowledge here in the Library of Quetzali.
Yep.
Knowledge must first be given. The rarer the knowledge, the longer you're typically allowed to research. That's how the library grew so vast. Library of Alexandria. And that value of knowledge is typically judged by one of its celestial guardians.
Of course. The You gotta look in her scroll case.
As you're kind of rummaging through your scroll case, the archivist nods towards you and seems to approach one of the edges of the floors. And you see him sort of raise a hand and signal to something. And you watch as the brightly coloured creature, that serpentine creature, circles the perimeter of the library and dives, gliding down towards you. You watch as it sort of coils its lower body along the ground like a naga, folds its wings, and sort of slithers up to you inquisitively. Despite it being your size, Deja, its magnificent wings and plumage give it a sort of regal and almost intimidating aura. Its sort of long serpentine face is similar to a Naga's, but its eyes possess this sort of brightly coloured glow, and it very curiously flicks its tongue out towards you.
Yara is going to pick out 2 scrolls. One in particular is a very dark one, and the other is the banishment scroll.
So the book is what?
No, if you give him the scroll of mass lifesteal, scroll of and the scroll of banishment.
The creature kind of slithers over and kind of paces around you, very closely examining you. Looks to the scroll, slithers back in front of you, kind of straightens up its coils. It's now kind of standing over about a good 8 feet overhead. And you hear a voice in your head. Your offering is acceptable. Its eyes.
Into a little garble for anyone else.
Yeah.
Slightly.
It's a little too ish. And the words didn't come through clearly.
It was a little soft. There's more reverb than voice.
Yeah. I almost thought it was Discord shooting itself again. No, be real.
Sound like it was lagging.
Okay, so Robbie, it says
It's still on, Jenner. I'm just saying.
Oh no! Oh no! I ruined it.
Tweak the
Okay.
voice modulator is
Whatever.
cool.
It said, your offering is acceptable.
Right?
Yay.
Huzzah.
And he watches its eyes flash. The scroll floats away from your hand, drifts over over the edge of the nearby stone rails and down into the depths of the library.
Okay.
You may access the great collections, but be wary. My eyes see all.
And she will give a very reverent bow and thank you for your time.
And with that, you are free to research as you see fit.
Okay. You'll look to the archivist. How deep down do I need to go to that section?
I'm afraid I do not know this Morteris you speak of. So I am not sure. But have you been here before?
Once. And it would be at that moment I'm gonna try and be very sneaky with this and show off a emblem that she has on her left shoulder.
You kind of okay, so this is the emblem of the Enclave.
Yeah.
Kind of show off this emblem of what looks like this sort of diamond-shaped crystal with an eye in its center. And you notice there's this look of recognition. I'm afraid I can't help you with that. And with that, he gives you a subtle nod. Yes, it's for you to follow him.
He nods, returns, and while he's moving away, uses the earring. I'll be back in a moment to the rest of the group.
All right. So both of you venture down a flight of stairs, down another flight of stairs, and makes his way towards the edge and begins chanting spell. And you watch as various mosaics begin forming around your feet and form this 5-foot diameter platform beneath the both of you. And you drift down into the deep, dark recesses of the library. Okay. So, I will say, for the sake of this, I can bog this down to either a history or an investigation check.
I'll do investigation.
With the librarians, with the archivist's help.
Yep. So, alt, investigation. Oh, alt here.
Okay. Yeah, roll again. Roll again.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Oh, double tens. That's funny as hell.
The archivist was no help. Nothing changed with his assistant.
How would I flavor this? Because this is fairly esoteric knowledge that you're getting into, but with like 17, and your affiliation with the Enclave would certainly lower this DC. So they've got more knowledge than most. So when studying the War of the Undying in Doonhollow, you took a particular interest in the battle for Rune's Peak. That final climactic battle at the Calcross Peninsula, where a number of heroes of old did battle with Voldus at the height of his power. Very few know what happened during that battle, but you're keen to learn the deep secrets of history. Your connections to the Enclave have allowed you to do so. You've heard rumours during your time at the Shaman's Mantle about these dark, lost corners of the labyrinthine mazes of books and scroll shelves. Centuries worth of knowledge yet to be catalogued, even to this day. The information that you do gather comes from one single scroll, thought lost in these darkest recesses of the library. A scroll hundreds of years old, dated year 5 of the new calendar. In your research on the battle, one name has always mysteriously kept cropping up. Morteris. He was supposedly an ally to Voldus, who betrayed him at the last moment. According to this, Morteris was once human. Though Voldus took away that humanity to gift him a new form, the visage of a wraith. When Morteris betrayed Voldus during the battle, the Lich was mortally wounded but not killed. He was killed at the hands of Carthan General Tarthus Garand. He dealt the killing blow. After Voldus' defeat, Morteris turned his newfound power against Voldus' followers, and he gathered a following of like-minded radicals who had suffered tragedy at the hands of the Awakened, who sacrificed everything for similar power, whose vengeance burned bright. It's believed that Lord Morteris Dredge lives on to this day, but his whereabouts are unknown. Unfortunately, this is where your trail ends. With only a 17.
Okay. Is there anything I can find on that group?
This will take more time.
I will
Time
ask
which you
the.
probably don't have while waiting for the Archmage.
Yeah. So he will probably ask the archivist is how much or what other knowledge might I need to give to look up more on this group.
He kind of ponders for a moment, a wrinkled brow. That'd be up to you, child.
The scroll case again. Like, actually, you know what? Takes one of those necromancer adapt spell books she has. I think this would be enough. Probably 2 of them. I have no need of them.
He kind of snaps his fingers once again. And you kind of wait. You wait for a good couple of minutes. You hear. And sort of nimbly weaving through the ancient books, scroll cases and bookcases. Same celestial entity greets you once more. Curiously looks down towards the books that you have. It gives you a silent nod. No voice in your mind this time.
Alright.
And the books drift from your hand. And it ascends back up towards the upper portions of the library. Seems your offering was accepted.
Alright. You say to curate the archivist, I will come back later to look up more on this group. I think I am needed up with my friends for the moment.
Gives you a nod. And he leads you back up towards the upper portions of the library, kind of stepping onto that sort of a golden dais. The hum of magic brings you back up. And I'll say for the sake of brevity, you eventually arrive back towards the rest of your allies.
Sorry for the wait. That was an interesting... There was some interesting insight I got. Anywho, he says that just out in the open.
Actually, Angus,
How long did that take?
Um,
Because she had to go through all those stairs and like, how much time passed while she was away?
a good hour actually has gone past, and you've still been no sign of those 2 guards from earlier.
So,
Just
we
playing
were just
dice
sitting
and cards.
idle.
Yeah, there was something I wanted to do, but I didn't want to interrupt the nerdening.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you would have wanted to do in that past hour, feel free.
Yeah, it would have been like a couple of minutes after everyone's got settled. Vellum does want to pull Stow aside a little bit. Sorry. And Stow, you got a second?
Sure. I'm not really doing anything at the moment.
Good. And he will switch to Orcish for sake of ease of speak and other reasons. I had a favor to ask you.
There's an eyebrow raise.
It's something I'm not sure is even possible which is why I'm asking you about it first, to see if it is. I feel like for a long time we have been on the back foot with all of this stuff happening to us. Us running into the same name over and over again, and I'm a little tired of it. So to try and get some answers, I had a thought, but well, you know my thoughts aren't exactly complex. I know magic enough to know that there are ways to communicate without, well, not without words, but there's ways to have words made through illusion, I think it's called, or from sending spells and things like that. Now, the tough question is, and the thing I wanted you to tell me is even possible, would it be manageable to use your kind of magic, your unique way of doing things, to let us communicate with Mortifex?
There's a sort of weird look from her, and she sort of slowly does the kind of nod when she's thinking, and sort of... That is a very specific thing.
Yeah, which is why I'm coming to one of the smartest people I know to find an answer. See, I wasn't going to bring this to everyone until I knew it was even doable, because there's no point if it's not even possible. And it's not really doing anything with soul stones, just more the contents of them. This is hard. But besides facing my own demons, I feel like she has a lot of answers, and well, if we can get a method going, she's not exactly in a position to not answer our questions.
I'm not sure I can do what you're asking, but I may try and bounce the idea of Vengus. But I will be honest, I don't like the idea.
Well, I don't like it either. But I like the idea less of running into more powerful and powerful people who know more than we do. And there are a lot more gunning for our heads. But this is more about if it's possible. It does not if we agree with it. That will be something I present to the group as an option. If we all don't like it, then we don't do it. Simple as. But that's then, and first things first.
I'll talk to Angus about it, because this seems sort of more in his realm than mine. But
Well, there's no rush on it. It was just an idea I had, and you take all the time you need to think of however the hell you work your magic. You're an ingenious woman, so, and that is probably what was needed here. An unorthodox solution.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Alright, well, I'm gonna find something to keep myself busy with.
Oh, actually, speaking of, I do have a small list of things you could probably help me with.
Yeah,
And
sure.
Sao sort of takes out her. It's sort of odd at times because usually she doodles or writes in her, notebook, but this time she just takes out like what looks to be a sheet of paper from said notebook. It is folded twice, and then she sort of hands it off to him.
He'll take it tentatively, just sort of. I imagine this is the first time she's displayed this sort of behavior with her notes. Yes.
Kind of. Usually, if she has an idea, she folds the paper to mark that it is just an idea, but this is out of the book and it is folded twice, so there's likely some secrecy about it.
Very peculiar in particular, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
You can read this at a later time, but preferably on your own.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take a look at this, and I don't know if I could do any smithing or things like that in here, but first chance I get, I can definitely help you with that. I haven't gotten any major projects that I need to get done, so sure.
Oh,
And he'll carefully pocket the twicely folded note and return to the general populace.
Alright. So, after a while, Dejah returns, just in time actually, to see the two guards also returning, drifting down towards your floor upon their sort of golden discs. The Archmage will see you now. Follow us.
Eden.
Right.
And yep.
Well, off we go then. I figure everyone's going to want to be there, or is this just a only magic types allowed kind of deal?
That one will be a little later. Everyone should be present.
All right.
Okay. So you all follow suit. The two guards once again mutter Tojin incantation and conjure not one large platform, but a number of smaller golden discs sort of rearrange themselves from a number of nearby floor tiles, lifting you up. And you all ascend and ascend 1 floor, 10 floors, 20, 40, 50. You ascend up, over and past the enormous orrery which sort of orbits beneath you. And you ascend up into the stone maw of the serpent above, and into a tall antechamber. The midday sun bears down from above, sort of dappled through a lattice of finely carved stone, winding serpentine pans, like a tangle of vines. A set of 15-foot tall golden double doors awaits you at the other side of the chamber. You can see stone murals stylistically depicting many archmages through history. The one thing common to all of them that you notice, Soyun, is that each of them wears a golden mask with a wide half circle, like got a sort of crown like a sunrise. The guards approach the door. Two serpents' heads mark the tremendous handles. One guard pulls at the serpent's jaws, and there's this grinding sound of stone as the set of double doors seems to almost open by themselves. They both stand guard, stand aside, and ushering you both, all of you, inside.
A lot of big movements and big magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As you enter, this larger chamber beyond seems to be both a temple and a personal study. Constructed of maroon stone and accented again with gold, to one end of the chamber is a fountain shrine of glimmering, almost ethereal blue water. A serpent's head takes centre place upon it. A number of scrolls have been sort of laid at its foot in the middle of the mountain. Fountain rather. And there's this ever-present subtle grinding of stone that you've heard throughout the chamber, that you've heard sort of throughout the temple, is more noticeable here in the chamber. To the far end of the chamber is an altar upon which a number of other scrolls and books have been sort of set aside to later be poured through. Behind that altar is an... best way I can describe it, it's an enormous, slowly rotating, intricately carved sun disk. And you watch sparks of purple energy connect between the various arcane sigils engraved within. And a hawk perches upon a nearby scroll case. You see a figure at the altar scrawling across parchment. A tall male figure dressed in ornate robes of violet, black and gold. You don't see his face. Instead, he wears a golden mask. Though you see no openings in it. There's no opening in the eyes, mouth, nose. It's just a solid, contiguous mould of a human face. This flared crown like a sunrise, and this massive, mane-like plume of vibrant purple feathers. The most unusual thing you notice about him is the fact that his skin is a shining golden hue. Not bronzed or tanned, but there's this metallic sheen of the purest gold. You can see he's covered in scarification, sigils and runes etched into his golden skin. He kind of looks up towards all of you. That faceless mask almost reminds some of you of a certain inquisitor.
Will be a slight flinch at that.
And he sort of speaks with this arcane distortion to his voice, almost like the mask is muffling it.
Ordinarily, I would not deign to speak directly with outsiders. But you find yourself in the company of my family.
Well, she kind of found us.
Well, bet. It is surprising to see her back in the library so soon. But regardless, You are foreigners to these lands.
And he kind of clacks his golden staff against the stone with this metallic ting, ting, ting that kind of echoes through the chamber.
What be your business here? Who are you?
Now just gives a look to the jar.
The Yar, I studied here,
Yeah. Hello.
I think, a couple of months back. I was here also to discuss upon my quarry. The Learned Hammerstone had received word from you. Need
Kind
more
of-
details.
He kind of tilts his head, then looks to the rest of you expectantly.
The Yar just looks back to her group, just gesturing to be polite.
I realized I was muted while I was talking. So good job, me.
I'm Vellum, smith of the Alshamic faith. And he'll give a little head bow, uncertain of how to conduct himself in this particular instance.
Grunka waves. Hello.
And who are you?
Who did he ask that to?
To Grunka.
Grunka.
Again, that sort of curious tilt of the mask. Looks towards Liska.
Hello. I am Liska Auluma. She kind of like looks to the group like, are we doing like titles or is this just like names?
You can do. The Yar just whispers titles or names, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, Liska Auluma, Legionnaire of the Steel. The Steel King. Blue Dragon of the Waste, the Anvil, Ironbreaker, Dragon Slayer, Beholder's Bane, Grand Hunters of the Hunter's Keep. You know, me.
Impressive titles. And you?
He looks over towards the dwarf.
Oh. I'm Angus. Brackenbrick. Come from the Silver Hearths. And, he kind of just like throws his hands up. I'm a cook. And, I like to learn about runes.
You keep humble and not so humble company, Dejar.
With that,
Life. You just say life is interesting when you see from different point of views.
he kind of straightens his back.
I am Etzel Ascatl, Archmage of the Shaman's Mantle. Know that you all stand before the avatar of the Great Serpent.
Oh! That wasn't in character, but oh.
Hello, Snake Man.
I've heard of avatars, but I assumed they were ghosts. Mm-hmm.
You are quite
He just
real,
shrugged.
Dejar.
Hello. What is an avatar? Well, actually, no, I understand that. Who is the Great Serp? Who are you?
What is an avatar?
A mortal representation of a god, if I remember right.
Not quite. Avatars in these lands carry out the will of their gods.
He kind of gestures over towards the fountain representing. Well, you can see that the fountain with the that golden serpentine visage upon it.
I be the avatar of Quetzali, the great feathered serpent.
Sharon's eyes just like go back and forth. He snaps her fingers. The same Quetzali that helped in the Battle of the Sarask?
You see the golden mask nods.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Quetzali has had many avatars for thousands of years. I be the latest. But you come with another purpose rather than talking about avatars.
Well, he kind of raises a finger up. Actually, no, I'm still curious. I don't know who this serpent is. You're obviously important, but, you know, you asked us about us. Can I ask you about you?
Sorry, I'm just getting my notes here.
Of course. Sorry, I'm not putting you on the spot. It's just like...
Yeah.
First interaction with an actual
So
avatar.
this gold-covered
or
twat's coming up
conversation.
saying he's an avatar, right? And he's not even blue.
Like, I just thought we were talking to head nerd of the nerd place, but suddenly Avatar does warrant some questions.
An avatar can still be a nerd.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Avatar of a nerd god.
Physical
He's
embodiment
peak
of being
nerd.
a nerd.
Geek nerd.
He's the physical embodiment of the concept of a nerd. He probably has a pocket protector.
Probably has 10.
He
I mean, with how much gold?
he
One for each
responds.
pair in his cargo shorts. He responds.
You be the living god, or Tanzia, of craftsmanship, creation, knowledge, learning and magic. There are many living gods. They hold guardianship over these lands. They are worshipped like regional gods. Though many influential spirits exist throughout the world, these living gods are the most prominent, most powerful among them.
And he's hearing a couple of key words.
Mhm.
You know, I follow a lot of those same domains. I might want to talk to you. I'll let him go first.
Right. First thing I want to ask is getting ley stones. What am I offered in order to get a sizable ley stone? Its purpose is to this. What he looks to Angus. Those orbs with infernal magic.
Yes, would you like one?
Yes, she nods and holds her hands out so she can hand it off.
He rummages through his bag for a moment and then pulls out one of the orbs. Here you go. Don't do anything with it. It'll explode.
He nods again and takes it and then holds it out for
The mask again sort of tilts silently. And you feel that orb, that ruined erudite orb sort of leave your grasp as Etzel sort of traces a very quick and very nonchalant sigil in the air, and it kind of floats over to him. He grasps it in his hand, examines it. You see where the eyes on the mask would normally be. There's this radiant flash of purple and yellow light.
You seek a powerful crystal renowned for being difficult to acquire. From the vaulted archives of the oldest library in the world.
if I knew any place that would have the magical foresight and the resources, it would be this place.
There be things in this library that have not seen the light of day in thousands of years. We have our own supplies of Leastone imported from Ragnarok. But from what you said earlier, I find to understand. You sent a number of missives to us some time ago about obsidian.
It's correct.
I can give you the extensive geographic history of Tanzia and the events that created the Actuan Gulf, which created the obsidian in the first place, but I am no fool, Tasha.
You watch a sort of nearby mantle of lightweight obsidian plates attached to a bright purple cloak floats off of a nearby stand. Sort of, it coils around his shoulders, almost like Doctor Strange's cloak.
The capability to reflect even the most destructive spells back at your fools. Such power has been carefully kept secret by the dynasty for eons. It be one of the many things that have kept our nation as strong as it is. But the dwarves, it be the forging of Doomsteel. But the imps, the harvesting of Learstones. For us, it be the enchanting of obsidian. Learstone is negotiable, Tasha. But to give such power to a foreigner, you'd need to prove yourself as trustworthy ally to the dynasty first.
I figured as much. That also brings me to my other request. About my quarry that has been spotted over the Gulf from what Reinhard Hammerstone that you told Reinhard Hammerstone about not too long ago.
There's no expression in the face because, golden mask, but you can almost sense the slimming of the eyes and a subtle glance to your brooch.
They will speak to you alone after.
He gives a respectful nod.
There's a moment as he sort of pauses after looking at your brooch as well. Though it's not visible, you sense his sort of peering and dubious gaze, just examining every expression and piece of body language across the group here. Almost like he's looking through all of you.
Yara is very relaxed.
Oof. I think that might have been Liska. I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Maybe. She's just like fucking magic people talk about magic shit. This
Magic nerd.
Of course.
Just to clarify out of character, is this a moment where we may speak up, or is this just a pause for sake of dramaticism?
If you want to speak, you can.
I believe Angus had something first, though, because I didn't. I do have thoughts considering, you know, a certain material came up as a topic, but Angus did have something he wanted to discuss. So I'll leave the floor open to him
Alright.
first.
This is more like if you want to respond to what he's saying.
Right. Okay. Anyway, go.
Well, hey, you said a certain material. I'm gonna actually chime in on that. Sorry. You mentioned dune steel. Can you elaborate on that?
I do know that don't still be the material that most dwarven holds use. But a structural integrity. How it is made, I don't know. But that be none of my purview.
I see. Harry? And out of character, can you remind me or help me understand, why was he bringing up those knowledges of those things? I sort of thought as like, yes, I gave that knowledge.
He was.
Oh no, it was implied that every region has their own specialty of material, and that a magical obsidian is theirs, and thus it is highly prized and protected.
Exactly.
I get it. Well, if that's the case, this god of knowledge, sort of saying I don't know about it, gives him a little bit of certainty, like next the secret safe. And
So for clarity, you said he wasn't a god of knowledge. He was
an avatar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's an avatar to represent that knowledge.
He's
But he also at points said they're like living gods.
They are mighty, but not the gods themselves. I suspect the god of knowledge would have knowledge of all things, but may not impart all that knowledge.
I think Dejara actually brought up living gods a number of sessions ago, actually.
She did. It was before we went into the Morbog.
They are effectively chosen mortals to represent the gods themselves, to help carry out their will. So
A number of sessions ago, before the Morlock.
Yeah,
that was over a year ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been plenty of time, and there's been plenty of trauma to sort of override that knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed that Dejar is just like, that Spice specifically was like, oh yeah, it was this.
That's our
That's
grand
what you
archivist.
expect.
That's
Smart motherfucker.
That's our archivist for you. So yeah, avatars. They're not gods in mortal flesh. They are mortals, just imbued with great power by the gods, by the living gods themselves.
So then he'll ask another question. So you said there were many before you. You're not like a permanent thing. You're like, a person underneath the ceremonial garb that's just favored.
To some extent, yes. There are others that have been longer lived than I. Especially the avatars. Takanda.
I see. He's gonna lean over. So Yoon, do you know Takanda?
While not outright answering him, the look in her eye just says no.
You could make a history check or a religion check if you like. If you feel that confident.
Right.
Out
got
of
it,
all,
right.
out of all of us, me, religion.
I'll say you can also make a
See how that goes.
yeah. You could also make a religion check, Angus, since religion is your specialty.
Hmm.
19.
Take off 2 of that. 17.
17.
Because I'm not casting guidance.
Mhm.
It's a cast of knowledge.
So Takanda, she is the living goddess here in Tanzania of crops, beasts, for fertility, new life, rain, and queens. She is very much the sort of nature goddess of Tanzania. And avatars usually tend to be, you would imagine, arch druids. Of course, arch druids live for a long time, very long time.
Oh, never mind. It's a little different, but she's a lot like Helga. Good folk.
As he kind of examines over your forms, kind of turns back to you, Deja.
If you're this serious about... If you are serious at all about proving your alliance to Jean, then you do well to follow the examples of others who had reached out an olive branch to our people. In fact, there is one diplomat from Ragnarok who's been doing just that. An archivist from Ambrosia.
The mention of that is like, I know who you're talking about.
Ida Ulneri. You know of her?
Indeed, we have met on more than one occasion.
Giggity.
Brag some more.
There's a slight kind of tilt in the mask, and he takes his staff and sort of ponders for a moment.
I will share with you a proposal, Deja. Throughout its centuries of existence, one of the Mantel's missions has been to uncover the history of the Akteshi that has been lost to us over millennia. Every so often, we find Delof's temple or tomb that changes the way we look at the First Empire. But there's one place that has remained closed off to us. The temple, the tomb, by the Dragon Rider. Ever since it was discovered in the Anatol grasslands 200 years ago, none of our methods of accessing it have succeeded. It's cloaked by wards that not even I can lift. We know a fair bit about it, as other ruins have been discovered, filling in the gaps extrapolated from there, where we cannot access the tomb itself. Supposedly, to be the tomb of some of the greatest Akteshi dragon lords however fluid disguise. Each time a Dragon Lord was entombed there, their slaves were also entombed alive with them. The last Lord to be entombed there was shortly before the Brood War. No. Miss Ulnerium and I got a mutual interest in accessing this tomb. She fancies herself a hunter of lost treasures, and she has offered her skills to the dynasty as a sign of goodwill, an olive branch. And she's employed a number of laborers and archaeologists to aid her in uncovering this place of history. If you are able to work with her, to find a way to open it, to explore it, and find anything that might be of use to the dynasty, then I might consider your offer.
Alright. I accept, and I'll try and get in contact with Ida to aid in such endeavor.
He kind of looks over to the rest of your group, as if to expect any responses to this proposal.
But
Then we'll give a nod, showing that he's on board with the idea.
Yeah, we might do some talking about it, but Tsar just gives a sort of side glance to Liska, because at the mention of dragon riders and that kind of stuff, there's a slight hint in her mind that, hey, maybe we can find a saddle for her there, or at least something that's, size-wise would fit a creature that could
Like
carry her.
might be useful, yes.
But yeah, Sao seems sort of on board with it, but again,
Talking.
might need some talking internally first.
If we may, with your permission, of course, have a small discussion about that, but inform you of if we
Yeah.
can fully commit to this action.
There were a few details. In particular, there were a series of artifacts within that I should like recovered.
We just lost Atlas.
What?
Oh, great.
Good old shitternet.
I pause the recording until he gets back.
Nope, there he is. Okay.
Oh, there he is.
You welcome back. You back, Atlas?
And
Yeah, I had a little crash.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I figured.
Yep, sorry.
Didn't miss much. Just saying, like he's got details.
There were a series of artifacts within that I should like recovered. An array of armaments forged long ago, the Akteshi flamesmiths. Each forged with the scales and magic of a brood of dragon from the chromatic dragonflight. Thanks to Miss Olnerian's aid, we now know the names of these weapons.
Makes his way over to the pool at the foot of the feathered serpent altar and places the end of his staff into it. And he watches ripples distort across the water's surface. And he beckons you all over to the edge of the pool.
And the jar goes over.
And Grunker pulls out a fishing rod.
I'm fucking. I'm expecting to.
Your boy been fishing in buckets in the Hunter's Keep. It almost felt like it was coming.
Could give it a try.
It's like, let's not give reason to have the dude smite us in his own temple.
Yeah, please, no.
We're all just
I like
peering
to-
over, and then there's just a bobber going. Whoop.
You'll be disrupting the vision.
Why is there a fish in there? Sorry.
So the ripples distort the water's surface, and an image of a series of stylized ancient stone carvings and murals come into the view of the pool's surface. The first is a vicious-looking curved battle axe. The blade burns. The handle is crafted from scales.
According to text described in old Arteshi tablets, it is called Crimson Tyrant, one of many of its kind forged by and for the Arteshi's flame-forged warriors. This one seemed to have sentimental value enough, whatever fire giant be entombed within, to have named it.
The second image depicts a long whip. Its handle is made from blue dragon scales, and a tail is made from pure lightning.
As your lash, a vicious implement of oppression. There were only ever 50 of these made, used only for the most stubborn of slaves, made by the highest castes of Arteshi society.
I will actually put those names in the chat there.
Ooh, cool. Please do.
That's in Dwarven.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
cannot
can.
rejoin. I cannot select myself because it thinks I'm still in.
I do think you're still in.
That's strange. I can
Maybe
read giant.
after enough time it'll thaw.
Yeah, it'll probably boot you at some point. Unless Jenner can kick you manually.
So, you know what? I will put that in party chat.
Okay, cool.
The third image.
Well, I'll just wait and see.
Are you able to kick Atlas from the game?
That wouldn't kick me, but like, are you able to get me out of your session? Because I can't rejoin.
Yeah, because it thinks he's still in there.
Oh.
There we go. You're off the list, so try now.
Okay, so those two names so far are in the party chat in Discord there for you.
Cool.
The third image depicts a dark, sickly green and black sword. Its blade almost seems to be sort of drooling.
Dark ruin. A cruel blade. What must have been a cruel owner. A slave hunter who took inspiration from his dragon. He crafted many of these blades to strike fear into the hearts of truly unruly slaves, who taught freedom from the empire meant safety from its slave hunters.
The fourth is a jagged morning star. The head is comprised of these sort of spiked, jagged, frozen crystals, and the handle crafted from white scales.
Pale rage. The Arteshi Frost-sworn chieftains used weapons like these to channel the primal fury of their white dragon allies.
And the fifth and final weapon is a long, sickly green glaive.
Finally, the Viridian Deceiver. The stone giants were renowned for their art, poetry and masonry, but also their cunning with polearms These types of weapons were light, poison-tipped, and inspired by the severed tongues and agility of green dragons.
He takes his staff out of the water. The images fade.
Work with Miss Ornerim to unlock this tomb. And, if you can, find these weapons, return them here. Then, and only then, Deja, I'll be granting you the Lear Stone and the secrets of Obsidian that you desire. That be my offer to you. It'll be up to you to take it.
He is quiet for a moment. Right. Home expressed. Be okay with it. Small talk will be better, so we all are on the same page.
Very well.
Very well. Have your talk. I shall be waiting.
Out of character, is that a get the fuck out and come back later type waiting, or is this a we're gonna go off to the side and talk for a little bit and then come back waiting?
More the latter. It seems as though he kind of. You gather he has a few scrolls he can go through while he's waiting rather.
Okay. We all thought about maybe doing some exploring, but this is also another task on the list. The rewards are nice, but how does everyone feel about that?
Well, I mean, it is something that we can. I don't think for this there's as much of a time schedule as there is for other things, yes? So, I mean, we can add it onto the list of things to do when we are here.
Well, getting that stone is something that's required to break down the, other stones, and that's what has to be done to do any more rune work or magic item making.
And I can't deny the temptation of that, the secrets of magical obsidian. I had heard about it, but didn't expect to even try it. Find out the source of that knowledge before we even contact our house, but here it is.
Yeah.
Did I miss the part where he said that we know where these weapons were, or so we have no clue?
Oh, sorry.
Fine. It's in the tomb of the Dragon Rider. I can get into contact with Ida, know exactly where that place is. But when we have time, we can go over there. When we feel up to it.
I mean, sort of feels like that's a big priority thing to do, because I can't make anyone any magic things without that stone.
It's very true. So yes.
Maybe if we can find out where it is, then we can make a more informed decision. Since Angus said it is.
He did mention it was in the Alatl grasslands.
Oh right, he did.
I missed that part apparently. Alright, Matt Patanzia, come here. Well, it's all good giving us a name, but I don't think we fucking know our ass from our elbow in this place.
I have a feeling it might be here.
Oh, you're on the map.
Yeah. I think this is it.
That's a big assumption.
The only grasslands I can see, to be honest with you.
I guess.
This might be grasslands up here.
I also might be grandsons, but
Are we still there with the guy? We didn't say we left yet.
No, we're basically off to the side in the same room. He's busying himself while we're talking, so I figure we could probably just ask him.
An awkward moment. Wes back here and we passed him already.
Well, Angus is gonna say, right, well, and he's gonna pull away from the huddle for a minute, and he's gonna walk up to the lad, the guy, the unit, the avatar.
Bro.
Right, excuse me.
You kind of distract him from a scroll that he kind of he's kind of going through with a ink and quill. And the mask lifts up towards you.
Right, these are Akteshi artifacts. Correct? I am understanding that right.
That they are.
And it's in one of their famous riders' tombs.
The Dragon Rider's tombs, yes.
Right. Well, he seems pretty famous to me. If I was a dragon rider, I'd make sure everybody knew. But, what's the chance it's locked?
I did say it was locked. Not even my magic can penetrate it.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you're magic. You know magic, right? You're avatar of knowledge and whatnot. Are you a good thinker?
y'all just out of the huddle just looks Angus.
Even Liska's gonna face palm at this. She'd be like,
Yeah, like, you know what? Let him do his thing if he wants to say.
I mean, no. I mean, hold on. Don't make that face at me as he turns to the other. I mean, like with shapes, and like you know.
Are you insulting my intelligence, dwarf?
No, I don't know you. I know some people are smart in different ways. And you know, everyone has their strong suit. It's not fair to assume. Like, I'm not good with, like, puzzles and the like. I've got this one I've been working on. I've taken the time. I've even put different colours on the different sides to help me keep track. And it doesn't work. I, for the life of me, cannot fix this. But I know it is supposed to help me get into, and he says in giant, the Akteshi burial grounds.
At the
He's
mention.
gonna hold out a puzzle box.
Oh, the puzzle
He's
pyramid.
just gonna pull a puzzle box out of his.
It's the puzzle pyramid.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not a box as much as it is a pyramid.
Yeah. It's he kind of looks at that large pyramid object. It's unnerving because you see that sort of motionless mannequin-esque golden mask, and his mask sort of shifts between both the pyramid and you, and he tilts his head slightly.
If you think me a fool, and if you are yet another group who has brought me another fake, then don't hold your breath, my praise. Let me see it.
Are there fakes of these things?
Yes.
Kind of gonna look at it.
Countless other groups.
Yeah,
Give me it.
You're gonna pass it. Hold on, I got something else. And it reaches in, down to the elbow. Let's see. Okay. And he's also going to pull out a very ancient looking key.
There's you hold both of them out, and there's this barely a moment as Etzel kind of waves his hand, floats away from your grasp, and he rolls them both around in the air in front of him, with just the slightest shift of his fingers. He notices his grip tighten around his staff as he kind of stands up from his desk, and he leans in close. once again the eyes flash this bright purple light, and a number of magical graven sigils etched into the mask's golden surface that you hadn't noticed before, hadn't seen before, glow with this arcane hum. And there's a pause, actually.
Of all my
If memory
years,
serves, I got this out of a grave, one of a giant surrounded by a bunch of elemental totems. Got them in the back of me thing, but it's quite a ways away. I haven't been able to figure out, and he's going to start speaking in giant, for those that know it, as he starts pointing to certain shapes and words and runes on it. And this here and that, and this symbol makes me think it's that one, but I can't really quite tell the difference, and I don't know how they work when they're together, and it's kind of like a little bit, I know what I'm talking about, and this is too much information for a fake, but I don't know what it means. Sort of type conversation.
And Dejara is following all of this because he understands giant.
You kind of Edsel is listening to this very, very intently. It's kind of responds with,
of all my years studying the alchemical compositions of metals, this is either the most convincing fake of the Dragon Keeper's key I've ever seen, or the joining article itself. You said you found this in the Moorbook.
Was this one in the Moorbog, or is this the one that we got out of the grave?
The one we got, temple we got in the Moorbog.
The thing you found in the giant's grave is the tablet of the fire plane tablet,
Which I have.
Oh, that's right. Refresh me the details. Where exactly did we get this? Because now I'm confused.
Okay, the tablet, I can,
go ahead.
real quick. Tablet we found was when the Black Dragonborn literally had ripped all the treasures in the area. It was probably from that stone box that we found on the side of the road. It was just dumped in all with the rest of the treasure. And the key we found in the sunken temple.
Okay. I do not quite remember that. I know I've had these things for quite a while.
It has been a bit.
Don't worry, I got the information. It's in my notes.
Oh, that's right. You had the tablet from there. This was... Huh. I got the places mixed up. Oops. Sorry, it's been a long while going through the Moorbog, and you know how things can get fumbled. Anyway, do you think you can solve it? Is he kind of eyes it like a child would eye a Rubik's Cube with curiosity? Don't tell anyone, but I've been fiddling with it and I can't get it to work. I really want to see though.
You kind of watch him, and with just a flick of his fingers, conjures a small dinner plate-sized portal in the air, and he kind of reaches inside, and out floats a large stone. And recessed within the stone is a replica of some sort of inverted pyramid shape.
I might be able to. None of our archaeologists would have ever suspected it was buried beneath the Moorbog all this time. Years ago we discovered the locking mechanism to the tomb. An ancient puzzle key required for it to open. One that requires incredible arcane insight to unlock. We attempted to replicate the pyramid ourselves, but using nothing but a mold of the lock. And inside, we also used insight from the lock itself as a basis for its mechanics. But we failed at every attempt. Our finest archaeologists were on the verge of losing hope.
With that, he kind of slowly floats both mold and key together. And it fits perfectly.
Until now. This changes everything. Might take me some time to figure this out, but I can eat.
Oh. Well, hey, don't worry about it too much, eh? You know what? You look like you're a smart kind of guy. I believe in you. And he's gonna like pat at him as he does the whole, hands it over. Give it your best.
Gives you another kind of tilt of the head.
I appreciate your candor, Dwarf.
Thanks.
Kind of pauses for a moment.
Angus.
It's okay. I'm bad with names too.
And with that, he's going to attempt to try to figure this puzzle out. So, you watch as he begins to slowly tumble the pyramid in the air. You don't see the eyes move, but you can certainly tell that they're probably darting every which way across all the various sigils and sort of intricate lines and runes of this puzzle pyramid. You watch various sections begin to twist and tumble and turn. This flurry of motion. And let's see how this goes. So there's DC 30, I believe.
Please don't roll a 1, you fucking avatar. Avatar, the god of knowledge. I can figure out most things except this. Fuck.
What
can
in
do
the
most
bomber
things
clock
at
do I do with
ease.
these?
But even I cannot see why kids love the taste of cinnamon coast touch.
Rubik was a diabolical bastard. Sorry.
There's
Please continue.
There's a subtle glow from within the pyramid. It forms into this strange star-like shape, and then into a cube, and back to a pyramid. The glow grows brighter and brighter and brighter. There's brilliant purple glow from this end of the chamber. And you kind of have to shield your eyes a bit as the runic inscriptions begin to surge with light. See, one face has a sort of fiery glow to it. Another face has this is icy blue. The third one, this sort of corrosive greenish colour. A sickly green on another side. And he's going to roll an Arcana. Plus... Oh wait, he's already got the bonus with it. So, well, we'll just use that one.
There you go. You got it.
Oh,
Pulls it off.
oh, didn't even need it
Go
apparently.
Go on.
Now we
Like
get
elect.
just fucking
See, I told you could do it.
just galaxy brain mode over here. So you watch as the pyramid tumbles faster and faster and faster. You hear this arcane humming from this end of the chamber, and with a final shock of elemental light, the puzzle pyramid seems to rotate once, clasp back into itself, back into its original state, and you can see all the runes around it glow with light.
Well, are you all willing to assist with this cause?
As he kind of sits there for a moment in almost stunned silence.
I'll be honest with you. I'm curious. I want to do this.
I think I didn't get everyone's thoughts, but I think the general consensus was yes, because it doesn't seem like much time pressure. Or was Angus uncertain, and that's why he went up?
He's really curious about this thing because he's like, wait a minute, these are all like Teshi stuff. I got something for that. Dragon Rider, I got something for that. I can't make it work. Maybe this guy can. It's literally just, oh man, fucking computer's not working. Take it to the IT department.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then what was the general consensus? Just so it's 100% clear.
I think yes.
Angus was saying like, hey, if you want me to make any magic items, including Liska's new magic item, I have to have that laystone.
Okay. Vellum was on board, Dejar was on board. I'm pretty sure Grunka is more interested in the pool, but that's just an assumption.
Could be.
I'm pretty sure Liska just wants to get out of here. I don't know. I'm making a lot of assumptions, but yeah.
Well, Liska's just like, as she was saying earlier, this is just another thing to add to the list of stuff to do. Like, there's some stuff that has a time pressure, some that doesn't.
And this doesn't seem to have.
No.
Okay. Alright, just wanted to be sure before I go committing to a course of action.
Angus is saying that, hey, this is something we need to do kind of immediately, otherwise I can't do any more runecraft.
Yeah.
And Liska's essentially saying, like, I still have a +3 sword that I'm gonna have for a while. Like, we can put off.
Well, the point is, yes, regardless. So yes, maybe quick, but either way, yes.
Yep.
It seems as though we are aboard and have a vested interest in in everything going on, really. He sort of looks at Angus, just staring at solved Rubik's Cube.
You would not believe how long I've been waiting to see that.
Then we have an agreement. Take this pyramid to the archaeological site. I shall let Miss O'Nerin know to contact you. She got methods of travel and communication. She'll be in touch.
Alright. I'll send her a sending message.
Very well. I should like to
Proceed back to...
I should like you to take this to her. I'm certain she'll find more willing employees to aid her exploration in the tomb, if it's necessary.
But don't we need the thing itself to get hidden?
I said, I should like...
the other archaeologist at the place that we need to get in?
Yes. Like, take it to her, she'll know where to put it.
She's there. I thought it was somewhere else. That's like... Oh. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, she'll... Effectively, he's asking you to take the pyramid to Ida, and she'll probably know what to do from there.
Oh, right. How far is this temple? Good thing place to know.
If I'm not quite sure myself, I need to hop over to the map.
Avatar, the god of knowledge, has no clue where to fuck.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was the DM, not the avatar.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I have an approximate knowledge of all things.
I don't know these specific things. I also don't know where I want you to go.
Kind of replies with,
Be about 600 miles from here, due southwest, the Alatl grasslands. Either will have our own method of transportation.
And
Right.
we need to bring some things back here. Is there a more convenient way to do so that doesn't involve a lot of backtracking?
Oh, do you happen to have one of those giant, like, crystal stones that allow you to teleport?
We do. Yes.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yep, I can. As long as I know the sigil, I can teleport us back here.
Oh, right, yeah, you've got that one spell out.
Yes. Also, carrying those won't be a problem. I have also a spell to store something. If it's around 500 pounds.
We've got options. All right, good to know.
500 pounds. Anyway.
and with that, we will get a new quest.
Hooray!
Oh shit!
Is that visible to everyone?
Yeah.
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 All right.
That's a lot of goodies.
And you get 2 allies.
I'm eyeing up that obsidian refinement. Tasty.
No, same.
Mhm. I'm
That's
gonna get
real
my
life.
laced those.
Okay. I think. When everyone's going to leave, Dejara was going to stay behind so she can have that
Okay.
talk with.
Oh well, before that, I did want to wait until the quest giving was
Yeah,
concluded.
yeah. I just want to say that.
Put the gentle hand on Dejar's shoulder and sort of in a "am I good to speak" kind of sense.
And she just gives a solid nod.
And then we'll tentatively clear his throat and walk up. And his body language throughout the entirety of this, since your boy over there has been keeping a keen eye on everybody, has been somewhat tense and restrained. Not in a emotional manner, but more of a anxious manner. Sorry, I'm just double checking his name so I don't get it wrong. How did he introduce himself to us, just so I had the right title and whatnot?
Archmage Etzel as Cattle. I believe you should be able to see the name if you hover over the token there.
I see the name, but I didn't know if he had a preference of being addressed. But anyway,
He addressed himself as the avatar of Quetzali, or avatar of the winged serpent.
Sir Avatar, Archmage. I understand the way things work in this library is knowledge for knowledge, though is there any cost to me asking a rather pressing yes or no for yourself?
I believe we got a mutual agreement with this task I'll be given to you. So for now, you can ask me personally.
Thank you kindly. You mentioned of your extensive interest as a whole of the Akteshi Empire and your lengthy endeavors into discovering what was lost. He sort of straightens himself out a bit because the subject matter is little oogie considering recent circumstances. As I have mentioned, I am a smith, and to push the limits of what I can do, part of that has been to learn new materials. I have gained access to certain unique methods. As such, one of those is I am able to work adamantine. My question is that in your research and excavations, did you ever discover the method of creating adamantine?
You see him kind of sink into himself for just a little bit with your passive perception, passive insight rather.
I, of course, will not ask much information, but simply a confirmation of yes or no will suffice for now.
No, it's been one of my greatest desires to rediscover that recipe. I have worked with many alchemical recipes in the past. It's been one of my joys. But adamantine has forever remained out of my reach. One day, perhaps.
A goal we both seem to share. And while I don't say for certain that I will come across said recipe, if through the unlikely events I continue to find myself in, I do happen upon it, I would be glad to share it, as I believe the Empire was once a great deal of your territory.
I do appreciate the sentiment, but I fear that knowledge has been lost to history. But if you ever do somehow come across it, I should be grateful to receive that knowledge.
From what I've experienced, I'm starting to learn that the unlikely has a way of happening, whether you think it will or not. It just does, eventually, in time.
Indeed.
From your passive insight, that phrase rings true to him. You gather he's been experiencing some similar things like that recently.
Shit be wonk all over the place. Well, he won't pry or push on that, just sort of hand to the chest, a little short bow of the head, and that's all he really wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
He will leave with everyone else when the time is appropriate and let Dejar have her moment.
Okay. So, as everyone leaves for the moment, Etzel, the Archmage, stops you, Dejar, and ushers you back in for the moment.
Okay.
So, as you're both kind of alone in his study for the moment, he says,
It has been a long time since you've been here, Dejar. A lot has changed here. You mentioned your quarry. Who else knows of this? How much has Hammerstone told you?
Hammerstone has told me that since the Hunter's Keep been preoccupied in the Silver Kingdom, that There's been political upheaval and unrest. Also that things are left unchecked. It will get worse, much worse. That it was mentioned it flew over the Gulf, the Octoon Gulf, in the direction of I think the city. So he left me with this task. All I know that it was the body of Croesus, a white dragon that was slain during a Hunter's Keep's test.
This I know.
But due to uncertain events and someone named Balthazar rose up and, well, started terrorizing.
This
As much as I know.
This Balthazar. I was told there was some link to the Black Hand. This mercenary company that wishes to make war with our people. Supposedly their influence.
Her face is very, very tense at this. Yes. Very much yes. And I've told a few people about it to try and prepare them. I want to try and avoid this, but it seems like it can't be avoided.
Supposedly the Black Hand's influence grows in power in Maryland, yes.
Yes.
Then perhaps it is Maryland itself that wishes to make war with the dynasty? Because from what I understand,
No.
you and your group come from Maryland. Is that why you brought this machine to our land? This machine.
And with that, he kind of ting his staff into the water. The ripples warble over the surface, and you see the steam hammer recessed within its alcove.
The jar is pinching the bridge of her nose. No. That is a transportation for my friends. Specifically, Angus Brackenbrick. Aids in us traveling a little faster. As for Malin itself, no, Malin does not want to cause war with you. The issue is, unfortunately, another entity, namely the Handyman, whose trail I've followed from in Malin, the cliff spire, all the way down through the Moorbog to here.
The Handyman has no influence in Tanzia. I can tell you that much with confidence. We have plenty of networks to make sure his influence is stifled away from this place, from our people.
The other thing I need to mention as well, that the king of the Silver Kingdom may be influenced by illithids. It's the reason why Black Hand is growing influence. So it is not the king's doing.
So this is the Black Hand. that makes war on behalf of Mainland. Not necessarily by orders of the king himself. Is that what you are telling me?
Yes, think of it as they're getting carte blanche to do what they need to get done in their purview.
I have heard rumors of stirrings of foul entities and machinations from the realm of madness.
And he kind of once again wades. He wades further into the pool, and until he's ankle deep, and places kind of the end of his staff into the water. Ripples once again begin to shift across the pool surface until both of your reflections become a new image. You see the image of a group of riders flying on pterosaur back. Clouds make it hard to see the ground.
Much of your information rings true, Deja. The information we've been receiving has been concerning, as have divisions. With what we know so far from other scouts, this creature has made the eastern shores of the Arctoid Gulf its home.
The clouds clear, and you see this long shoreline of towering cliffs, tall sea stacks peppered throughout the shores. A number of scouts seem to point and bark orders. This is likely an old vision.
It has been diligent in culling witnesses and trackers. It exhibits tactical behavior.
One of the scouts in the vision looks behind her to see this enormous purple blur through the clouds. She looks around nervously. Another blur, and one of the other scouts is just gone. A long tendril snatches the third scout and the Pteranodon out of the air. The rider plunges to his doom.
I believe it works with a good degree of intelligence. Makes plans. It hunts like a predator.
You watch as the last scout seems to double over in pain, clutches her head and screams silently. Again, no noise to the vision.
We also believe it is capable of altering the mind, or at least inflicting pain upon it.
There's one final flash of movement as a massive shape emerged from the clouds in front of the last scout. Tattered wings spread, this lamprey-like mouth of tendrils yawns wide, and darkness falls over the vision. The ripples turn to water once more, and your reflections return to you.
I have been conferring with Emperor Tachan about the news of war counter Tanzia, discussing possible defenses. Thus, I have little time to monitor the movements of this creature. The only way I can possibly see it slain is to catch it off guard by ambushing it where it may be hiding, by luring it to an ambush. But that is only if it chooses to enter the ocean lands. The Gulf's eastern shores are not of our concern. That is for the Mainland Council to face. We refuse to give it the opportunity to spill more Tahosian blood, especially when it is not in our lands.
is just having a very, like he has a ton of boulders on his shoulders. I have an idea. To get it. Well, to ambush it. I was saving this for another entity, but it was not needed. She goes into her bag and lifts out probably 8 vials of a reddish sludge. And these I've collected mushrooms. They're called Vampire's Delight. They will make anyone who has ingested it or been cut, studied, bleed profusely out of all orifices of the body.
I know of Vampire's Delight. The Untamed will poison this creature.
Yes, then she takes out another vial, one that looks like a very dark purplish blood. I faced another entity, a Slotty, collected this blood. I want to make something permanent to attack aberrations. I have someone in mind to help, but it needs time. I need to take it needs. It slows down for a minute because she's getting anxious. I need time for it to be created. Sounds like time is not really on our side here.
No. So you
Puts the vials back into her bag.
So you poison the creature. What next, Tisha? What next?
And then she holds out the ley liner and then holds out a sun staff that she recently got. I will use this and this dagger here to cut him out of this plane of existence. Even if I have some dark arts I've learned, I will use all my power to wipe him clean from these lands.
From what I've been told, Hammerstone has put his confidence in you to see this creature slain. I hope he has not misplaced it.
I will do more than enough. Even if I have to sacrifice my arm or eyes, I will destroy my prey. That is a promise.
Gives you a silent nod.
The Keep and I have been in contact. Grand Hunter Vorsha shows me that his slayers are preparing to seek out this monstrosity. If anything, his hunters will injure it enough.
Right. Keep in contact. One more thing. This will be my trial by fire. Know, though, that I have made a grievous error. One that may affect us all of this order in ways I have not anticipated due to being reckless and forthcoming with knowledge that others would use for evil.
He listens patiently.
I was a part of the Black Hand, so they may know some of our tactics. I aided them as a court wizard, but there was a moment of clarity that I chose not to associate myself with them. So I left a small portion of myself behind. Things are not going as well as I would plan due to being reckless and obsessed. So now I'm trying to fix my mistake.
So, do you hold some responsibility that the Black Hand now seeks war with our nation?
In all honesty, I hold some responsibility.
See him kind of grip his staff tighter.
Leave. Now.
He does.
That you're all ushered back out of the study. Do you drift? You all kind of drift back down towards the main central library. That sort of stomach dropping Deja. Was that the right thing to? Was that the right thing to say? Only you know. So, you all regroup back at the central main chamber. What would you like to do?
Depends on the time of day, I guess. But I think that's kind of all we needed to do. Unless any old nerds wanted to look up some shit.
If I recall correctly. Oh,
I was just gonna say, Grook is probably gonna have a look in the library.
oh, okay. What for?
Fishing techniques.
Yeah. He'll learn those. You wanna look up something about Gengar?
Oh. Okay then.
Oh.
So, as you kind of you've probably seen some of your friends sort of doing a bit of research now and then. Best guess you can tell, it's going up to somebody who works there and just asking. So you do ask, and yeah, it is explained to you that you are required to give some knowledge before you can receive it.
Okay. You have to write it down, or can I just say it? How does this work?
Yeah, you kind of talk to a young woman, sort of bright faced. Looks like she hasn't been working here for a while. Well, you have to. The value of the knowledge will be judged by the celestial spirit that comes to take it.
Okay. Okay.
With that, she kind of waves her hand, and you watch this long serpentine creature swoops down towards you, towards the both of you. Wings spread. It's a slight gust of wind, and lands next to you. Kind of tilts its head curiously.
So, Grogu's gonna look at the young woman again. Does like how do I know if something that I know is something that he doesn't know, or vice versa?
It is not about something. No. Sorry, I'm looking for a way to explain this. It is not about what the. It is not about what the Quetzal knows, or doesn't know, but how valuable it is to the library. If it is of no value, then you will not be allowed access to its vaults.
Okay. Grunk is gonna tell it as best he can, the story of his people and how they came to be. Because I assume that's not something that's particularly well known anywhere by anyone.
Spend a long, about 15 minutes, sort of recounting the history of your people, the enslavements by Gengar, the magnanimous, the journey, the exodus of your people further and further underground, the founding of Deep Top, and of course
the mysterious force that turned them into what they are.
Indeed, the mysterious earth and fire ley lines that suffused your people's being. And of course, Gex. There's... You watch it as you're telling this, the serpent sort of coils its tail around itself and sort of just kind of sits there listening very intently. Like someone listening to an engaging story. After a while, after you finish, the winged serpent tilts its head.
And that is all I know.
Your offering has been accepted. You may browse the archives.
Oh, okay.
And with that, The wings unfurl, another gust of wind, and it takes off.
Okay, bye. Grunker's gonna look at the woman again. So, is that a snake? Is that a snake or is that a bird?
It is a Coatl. It is a guardian of knowledge and magic within this temple. I have never seen a Coatl that engaged before.
Well, that's something. I ain't seen one of them before either, so I wouldn't know. But so how is it work now? Can I just like go in and look for whatever, or like do you have like a guided system, or how does this work?
What would you like to research?
Well, I've been thinking about something. So, back when we were in the Murbog, and we were fighting Mortifax, she
kind of looks at you clueless through all of it. She doesn't know the name.
Oh yeah, don't worry
Mortifax.
about it. Yeah. But
Like,
you were fighting someone, and she was.
You
like,
went to the Morpok?
Yeah, it's a terrible place. Don't go there. Beach property, not worth it. But yeah. So I saw like stuff being like powered off by magic and stuff, and I was wondering how and why Gengar is like he is. Like he is a goblin, but how is he that big and that strong? You know, like was he born that way? Like how and why? And does it have like is there a way to like is there a weakness to it? Like is there how is he like that?
Well, I think we do have a very large section on Goblin history that I can probably show you.
Oh boy. Okay, I mean, I guess that's a start.
Very well. Follow me.
Okay.
And with that, she kind of leads you towards a sort of isolated section of the library. Once again, conjures one of those golden dices down towards some of the lower sections of the library. So, I'm going to need you to make either one or the other rolls with advantage. This would be investigation or history.
Both of them are -9. Oh, -9, -1.
-9, what?
Very dumb. But yeah, I guess just with advantage, should I say?
Yes, with advantage. You can roll or she can roll, your choice.
Okay. I mean, it's probably best if she rolls because I have a -1.
Okay. All right then.
So
I just don't have stats for this, so what I'll just say, she's a fairly bright person, so
and use the casual +10.
She's not an archmage.
Well, he only had the +9. No.
And
that's one.
We will roll again with advantage. God damn it! Seriously.
Oh well.
So, you spend a good bit kind of researching through the history of goblins and goblinoids. It's not very. There's no new information here that you don't already know about about Gengar. Just the fact that as an archgoblin, the only way to really become an archgoblin is to defeat the prior archgoblin and absorb his power. These could typically be like game. They're not very rules based. This trial, it normally boils down to who can like assassinate the other first before the actual trial begins. Very underhanded, very sleazy. Goblins not known for being, well, for the most part, not known for being very sort of rules-based society. Aside from hobgoblins, but that's a kind of entirely different matter. But again, not really anything new here.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
I'm sorry, whatever you're looking for, let's change back. I'm sorry, whatever you're looking for does not seem to be here.
Well, if it's not here, then, where could it be?
Well, who knows? One day someone might come along with information about the weaknesses of this Gengar that you speak of.
Yeah. Oh well, my head hurts now. There's a lot of text. Also, I have a question.
Yes.
Whatever I said to that snake bird thing, is that getting written down somewhere or recorded?
It will typically get written down, yes, and filed into the archives for a future study.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good to know, I guess.
It will join all that you see here.
Okay. It's okay. It's good to know. Well, I guess we're done here then.
Very well.
Yes.
Follow me. I will take you back to your friends.
Okay.
That's take kind of another ride on a golden dais, and you are returned back to your allies.
I think around that time, I recall.
Sorry?
What was the time frame in between Djar's talk and when the group left?
Oh, I will say about 15-20 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Alright then. I would still like to do that, find out more about that group. But, I don't know how long that's gonna take, though.
I think you mentioned you wanted to research a couple other things as well during the week.
It was the Ocean Rainforest, that's one. What was the other one?
That was the infamous Melodist Through History.
Yes, that one.
Okay. So, what knowledge are you giving in exchange for those?
Let's see. Fuck. You'll probably, the copies you made of this from this book.
So you cut out a bit there.
Sorry. The copies that I made from these pages of this book, Sakar, the Untold Story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he would trade that one in particular.
Right, so
and
you can ever hold out that copies of that book. The winged serpent sort of glances over it for a moment.
A limited edition. Very nice.
And with that, drifts out of your grasp.
all right.
Seemingly it's been accepted.
Cool. All right. There's
So
another
that-
one I can. No, I think that would probably be it.
Okay, just for one bit of research.
Yeah, for one for right now. The one
Okay.
that is really important is the infant malleus.
Okay then. So, go ahead and make me either a history or investigation check with advantage, as you're getting aid from an archivist.
Okay. For some reason I'm doing this thing, but it's not letting me. Alright, just again.
Oh,
There we go.
oh.
Nat 20.
Okay then. Let's see here. So, yes, here we go. So the path of the Black Book of Curses and Diseases, it's one that's shrouded in mystery, rumor, and lost history. You find old tomes and books on ancient history that, with authors hailing from the Orcish homelands of Kitang. These books were exchanged between the Shawan's Mantle and the Imperial Magistry, the Imperial Magistry, for research purposes. Some chapters make reference to a singular black book, a singular book of profoundly dark powers written by a powerful Orcish necromancer thousands of years ago that was split into 3 separate black books to decentralize their power so they could be never be reunited. According to some accounts, one of those books was taken by the ancient founder of the First Orcish Empire, Tao Shun, hidden away in a black vault underneath his palace. And every harvest festival yearly, his wife Swang Mei would take it to the Celestial Dragon Temple and cleanse it to stifle its corruption for another year. And this practice, this cycle, continued through many dynasties, many generations, until the ritual was sabotaged by the bodyguard and personal friend of then Emperor at the time, Kanai Soulseeker. This bodyguard named Suto Bloodfang. Suto betrayed and killed Kanai, unleashing a storm of cursed magic, petrifying the seas and forest shores around the temple into solid jade and stone respectively. You know this as the Jade Storm. You've researched this prior.
Okay.
After that happened, how would I put this? Yeah, after that happened, the Imperial Magistry sort of washed their hands of this black book and gave it to the Order of the Sun Wars to safeguard, which they did for some time. It's However, when during the height of the War of the Undying, when the Sun Ward and Niobe as a whole were on the verge of being overwhelmed, the Order made a desperate pact with an entombed lich they had imprisoned nearly 2,000 years prior, as he had knowledge on how to defeat Voldis and the awakened hordes of undead. In exchange for this knowledge, the Lich demanded he receive the Black Book from the Sun Ward's vaults. So, with little other choice and their backs at the wall, the Sun Ward accepted this deal, and Voldis was defeated some years later because of this knowledge that was granted to them. 120 years later, after the end of the War of the Undying, a dreadful plague of scarabs rips through Niobe, Hefsut decimates the Sun Ward and conquers the entire nation. Old survivors' accounts from all those hundreds of years ago tell of the Lich utilising a tome of black pages. And this is where the trail seems to end.
Full circle. Full circle. Damn. Great.
Is there anything else that Dajjal would like to do here?
Could probably ask a archivist to look more into that group with that mysterious name. And get back to her on it when they find something, and he will give a gonna look on her scroll case.
Okay. When in doubt, go for the scrolls.
Yep. Hold on.
I do want to mention, by the way, it is at time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It'll be the last. Sorry. Yes. We'll talk about it later.
Alright then. So as you kind of begin to delve into that research, these new revelations given to you by Edsel about this strange, mysterious creature of madness that seems to be stalking the eastern shores of the Gulf of Vaktuin. And some newer revelations about this black book of diseases and curses. We will end it there. Alright. I shall stop recording. 3, 2,